United touched down Bayern Munich, that is Munich in Germany, like 2 hours ago, and Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to obviously hold what we call a press conference, and we're here to bring you the reaction to that press conference. And the most important bit of it I've gone ahead to put out is all about Ten Hag issuing what we call new orders to Rasmus Hojlund and Marcus Rashford. He has also revealed to us where a decision was made for United to really sign Rasmus Hojlund ahead of Harry Kane, and obviously very many more things that the club of Man United has gone ahead to really decide on. Injuries at Man United have been talked about by Erik ten Hag, and hope you guys are really ready to walk with us onto this channel. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily, and let everyone let you know that we are here to obviously do this live stream with you, and we can't be what we are without you guys. So continue to subscribe. And how do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner is the place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video to this channel. And I already see people coming onto here, and we are yet to discuss things concerning Manchester United, strictly Manchester United, and smash the like button close to 300 times, because we are really letting you know what Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to say about Manchester United. I'm gladdened that, I'm happy to say to it that some players are back, and Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to emphasize things that went ahead and hit about, as with the fans of Man United after losing to Brighton. The selfishness of Rashford has been addressed, but you just need to be having one of the biggest brains to obviously know that Erik ten Hag was obviously talking about that. Let's start it off with exactly what Erik ten Hag really started up with. Ten Hag on Hojlund, he said, now of course we have to integrate him into the team, but you can see he's a big talent and he will contribute to our game. We are quite confident about that. So his confidence in Rasmus Hojlund is increasing day in, day out. That is it. It has to increase because when you're a manager at the level of Manchester United and you're Erik ten Hag and you make a decision to really drop Harry Kane and bring in Rasmus Hojlund, all you have to know is that this has to work out. And we all gave the reasons as to why we preferred Rasmus Hojlund over Harry Kane. 1, 20 years of age. He's a tailor-made Premier League player. His height, his pace, his touch is better than that of Harry Kane, and he was still a raw talent, and Erik ten Hag promised to almost polish this diamond. And this is the diamond that you're talking about that is obviously going to get polished here at the club of Manchester United. And that's what Erik ten Hag is also telling us, that they went ahead to make a decision to obviously get in Rasmus Hojlund because they believe in him. And in the 2 games he's going to hit play for Man United, he has gone ahead to show us the reason as to why the board made that decision. And with the fans had already gone ahead to make that decision, we are not coming anywhere near Harry Kane amidst knowing that we don't have the money to sign Victor Osimhen, because the first choice target of Erik ten Hag was Victor Osimhen, and because we never had the amount of money and Napoli we are willing to play hard ball, and even Victor Osimhen was not willing to push for that deal to happen, obviously we made a decision that we want Rasmus Hojlund. And for the 2 games we've gone ahead to see him, Rasmus Hojlund has gone ahead to show us that he has the levels to really leave the legacy and expectations from we, the fans of Manchester United. However much he's not yet a complete article, but we believe he's obviously going to be turned out into one of those players in the world that are obviously going to leave the moment. And Ten Hag was asked on why he went ahead to sign Rasmus Hojlund over Harry Kane. He said, I think we discussed it in San Diego. I think we have to repeat this debate. I don't think we have to repeat this debate. We are happy with Rasmus Hojlund. Obviously, in the first games, he was injured. He has played now against Arsenal, and now he has had his first start for the club of Manchester United. And this is what you want to hear from your manager every time he's asked about a young player like Rasmus Hojlund. You know, these young players, all they need is the backup from the manager. And with the boo that Anton Martial got onto Old Trafford on Saturday as Rasmus Hojlund came on the field of play, it shows you exactly what this club is all about, that this club welcomes young talent. As Anton Martial came in through in 2015 under Louis van Gaal and scored a goal in his debut and scored it against Liverpool. It's the same thing that's going to hate to happen to Rasmus Hojlund, because the fans have going to hate to show him support, the board is showing him support, and the manager is showing him support, because they believe that there is a very huge player in Rasmus Hojlund. And I too believe we haven't seen Rasmus Hojlund yet. The reason as why I've not going to hate to see him is that he has not gone ahead to obviously fit into that team of Man United. Do you know why? He hasn't gone ahead to fit into that team. He never really had a preseason with Manchester United. That's it. If at all we went him to America, he would have gone ahead to really be on the score sheet already, because the chemistry would have already been built up in between this team. And I think Ten Hag is a little bit unlucky because the board is not getting him the players on time. But when you look at teams like Arsenal that we're competing with, they went to the preseason with all their signings. Their marquee signing was already there. That is Declan Rice. They brought in Julian Timber. They brought in Kai Havertz. And the last signing was a goalkeeper, because they know it's very easy for the goalkeeper to integrate himself into the team. So that is really one of the things that Ten Hag needs to be done to see to it that next summer he obviously gets his signings on time. But Harry Kane, obviously it was a decision made in San Diego, meaning that by the time we flew to US for the preseason tour, a decision had not yet been made. Discussions were being made between Tottenham Hotspur, Man United, then Man United and Atalanta to see to it that they really get in these strikers. Remember, Erik ten Hag wanted 2 strikers, but he couldn't really get Harry Kane because £100 million was called in by Tottenham Hotspur, and they are willing to play hardball to see to it that they don't sell that player to any team in the Premier League. That is Harry Kane for you. And a decision was made in San Diego that they are not going to sign Harry Kane, and Harry Kane just waited, and no sooner he saw to it that they went ahead and spent £72 million on Rasmus Hojlund. The next day, Harry Kane made his decision to join Bayern Munich, but he was still waiting to see to it that whether United can raise money to sign him, and the United are going to have to talk to him before the summer transfer window, and he was Erik ten Hag's priority summer signing, and we missed out on him. But to me, it was a blessing in disguise. Look at Rasmus Hojlund at that age, just 20, but he is very, 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 very good. And at that age, we anticipate more and more from the player. Now, we all know the ruckus in between Marcus Rashford and Rasmus Hojlund that obviously went ahead to happen when United is playing the side of Brighton, because Rashford was in some good areas. He couldn't obviously reach Rasmus Hojlund, yet when Rasmus Hojlund got the ball, he obviously passed it to Marcus Rashford. Erik ten Hag is going to obviously have something to say about this situation, and these are the orders he has going to give to Marcus Rashford and Rasmus Hojlund. He said, "We have seen Rasmus Hojlund and Rashi together, looking at how they can benefit. Discussions between them on the pitch are ongoing. The connection is already there." So Ten Hag has commanded them to obviously find a better connection in between them on and off the pitch, because if you are a center forward, you need to befriend all the people that really feed you the ball. Now, Marcus Rashford looks to be one of the very, very, very huge outlets that United is having in its game of play, and Ten Hag is going to hate to order them that they should have discussions on the pitch and off the pitch to see to it that the chemistry really increases. He also added that absolutely, how can the two take benefits from each other? They have to know each other. The process has just started. At the same time, you need results. So it has to go hand in hand. That's what Erik ten Hag really said. So they are really working together. The process is on. And by the way, for me, I blamed Marcus Rashford, but not all that a lot, because you just need to see their chemistry really grow. You know, sometimes these are effects of the Glazers, and Some people don't even look at this and don't even give don't give Ten Hag the backing and defense he deserves, because we are suffering because of the Glazers. Trust me, if we had Sofian Amrabat in, Rasmus Hojlund in, Onana in, Mason Mount in, and we went with all those 4 players in America, it would have been a different scenario altogether. But we are suffering because of the bad decisions being made by the Glazers, you know. And if at all Harry Maguire, Scott McTominay had been sold to West Ham, would have gone ahead to get in other players. Todibo is £35 million worth. The asking price for Disasi was £35 million, meaning that you sell Harry Maguire for that amount of money, and Scott McTominay, you get in Disasi or Todibo to come in through and play into that right-sided defense, as the balance would have gone in to bring in players like Sofian Amrabat. And this is the poorest team that I've ever seen operate in the transfer window, because they don't want to lose any penny. They don't want to lose any penny. And that's why you see to it that we are now trying to have a pre-season in a season. You know, the season has started off, but for Manchester United, it's like we're having a pre-season, because players have not gone ahead to sink into that system very well. Sofian Amrabat coming in through at Manchester United shows that he's going to obviously be in a pre-season for his first games. It's like he's going to be in a pre-season. That is Sofian Amrabat. The same applies to Rasmus Hojlund. He played 30 minutes against Arsenal. He played 60 minutes against Brighton, meaning that we need close to 5 games for Rasmus Hojlund and Marcus Rashford to be playing together, and Bruno Fernandes to obviously know the runs and master the runs of this player. That's it. And that's what people don't really get to know. And people are obviously coming and saying he's going to be sacked. No one is going to sack Erik Ten Hag. He's not here to be sacked, because it will be like a recycle of the previous journey that we've been at. You know, managers, even with high profiles, higher than those of Erik Ten Hag, have come in through the club of Man United and have gone ahead to fail. So the problem is not Erik Ten Hag. That is it. The problem is the board. Now, I'm having John Evans. Is it true that Casemiro wants to leave? That's a lie. Casemiro is here for keeps. And at his age, has gone ahead to obviously show that he's one of the most important players on the field of play, and he is going nowhere. So Casemiro is here for keeps. And let no one lie to you that Casemiro is going anywhere. He ain't going anywhere. He's here to stay, and we're here to see to it that we keep him, and obviously to it that he becomes a better player when he's playing with either with Kobe Menu or with Sofian Amrabat, because he needs a person to obviously share that duty with him in that midfield, and that should be either Kobe Menu or the player himself, known as Sofian Amrabat. I'm having Henry J. Uganda. I also believe our season starts this weekend. It's not even this weekend for me. I really believe that even if we don't get a win against Burnley, there's going to be something weak. But I trust in the manager. You know, some people are really, 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 really forgetful. The reason as to why we couldn't win away at Tottenham Hotspur is not because Tottenham Hotspur is really a very good team. It's not a very good team because it hasn't been tested. The problem was the chances we created in the first half, we failed to obviously execute those chances. That is it. We created the chances and we couldn't score. That was the same story when we played Brighton. In the first half, we had some 3-4 good chances and we couldn't score them. In the second half, we had some 3 good chances and Rashford was selfish. That is it. So, if we could go ahead and obviously execute those chances, then I think we can obviously become a better team. And I don't believe that we are obviously going to be so much embarrassed like we are embarrassed last season when we played the top 9 teams in the league. Because last season, we only beat one team, that was Fulham, away from home. But we lost to Man City, we lost to Liverpool, we lost to Arsenal, we drew with Spurs, we lost to Aston Villa, we lost to Brighton, We lost to Newcastle. When you add Fulham that we beat, and we drew with which other team beat us that was into the top 10. So we drew one game and won one, and we lost 7 games. Now, we so far played 2, but I believe if you're having Kobe Menu, Sofiane Amrabat, Rafael Varane all fit, we can go away at Man City and get a result, and they can come at Old Trafford and you obviously beat them up. You get? We can go to Liverpool and get a result. For the very many years, we've not gotten a result that side. So I don't believe in what some people really come out and obviously try to portray at the club of Manchester United, that Ten Hag is done, he's going to be sacked. That is a lie. This manager is here for keeps. So guys, we are having 50 people watching in through. Smash the like button close 50 times. And don't forget to subscribe if at all you're watching us for the very first time on this channel. And I'm trying to do that every day. I come live and talk to you because you guys are really great and very important to what we are about. Now, we obviously have something to say about Harry Maguire. Now, we all knew that Harry Maguire didn't travel with the squad of Man United to Bayern Munich, and Ten Hag is going to hate to address that issue. He said Harry Maguire had some complaints, and we have to see how bad it is. He finished the training, but he was not able to travel. So that was one of the things that really troubled us a lot today, because Harry Maguire was part of the photos that really indicated he trained very well, but he really had some problems and he couldn't travel with Manchester United. That is Erik ten Hag for you. But he went ahead to address more and more and more about how injuries are really hitting us hard in the squad. He said it's a concern, but we knew that before. That's why we constructed the squad with that in mind. We can deal with it, and the squad can deal with it. So I know these are results of us playing very many games last season, and these players didn't get enough rest. People will always not really give it a thought like that, maybe, but to my own understanding, that's my thoughts, that we've gone ahead obviously lose out on players because of what we needed to do as a team of Manchester United that we never did. And if at all you don't do what you have to do, you just have to find yourself and your players naked. Our squad was really thin last season, and on top of that, we had very many injuries, and some players really ended up playing very many games. That's why I said the likes of Casemiro are really naked, and that's why Ten Hag tried to bring in some players to obviously add on the quality at the club of Manchester United. That is it. Now, he also went ahead and obviously emphasized on the injuries and said, I have experienced it, all injuries in the past, and managed it. You have to deal with it. I like these situations because you have to handle it and know what to do, and that is focusing on the process. That is Erik ten Hag for us. And when he comes out and obviously says that, he's true, because last season Ten Hag reached an extent when he doesn't have Rafael Varane, doesn't have Lisandro Martinez, there is no Anton Martial, there was no Eriksson, which other player was really absent, you know. Even Casemiro was really injured, but he weathered through the storm and obviously went ahead to win us lots of things at the club of Manchester United, and he brought us back to the Champions League. So for me, I'm 100% sure, and I really trust the manager. He said one thing is true from the start of the season. I don't think I ever started with, in my opinion, the best starting 11. There was always injuries. We always got results apart from the period that we are in now. Now, Ten Hag was obviously emphasizing the point that this is not the very first time. I'm obviously kicking that off a season when I'm really having injuries. Even last season, I had injuries, but I weathered through the storm and got the results. And I believe we are obviously going to go back to where we deserve to be as a club of Manchester United. And he was like telling the fans, don't really feel offended. Feel positive about this, and more is yet to come in the favor of the club of Manchester United. So this is what we have to really be happy about. He went ahead and emphasized this, that the doctors are dealing with the problems. First of all, injuries. Injuries always come up in top football because we are living on the edge. Of course, we analyze why everything happens, but we also have to deal with the effects. That is Erik ten Hag for you. Now, talking about the doctors, I think I've heard him for the very first time talking about the doctors of Manchester United. Do you know why? We now have the doctor at work. He's on duty. The former head of science and sports department at Arsenal started work on Monday, and Erik ten Hag is so much positive that you're going to get the best out of this man, because this man saw Arsenal really not have very many injuries, and when you look at the squad of Manchester United, if at all we're having like only 3-4 injuries, I think that will be okay. Even if at all you're having like Maguire injured, maybe Malacia and some Amad Diallo, and you add another player like Aaron Bissaka, if you're having those injuries only, that will be okay, because Ten Hag is going to have to let us know that even Sofian Amrabat can be played as a right back for the club of Manchester United. So if you have Amrabat fit, Casemiro fit, Kobe Menu fit, that midfield can obviously take us far as a team of Manchester United. So these injury issues are not a threat to Erik ten Hag, because he now has a doctor that can see his players fit, because he has an experience of 15 years at Arsenal, and Ten Hag hinted about this at I think we are going to play Arsenal, and he said Arsenal does not get injuries like Manchester United really gets. So after making that statement, Ten Hag found himself really being gotten that doctor, and I think it's really something great that United have gone ahead to acquire, and those are some of the positives that Ten Hag has gone ahead to bring to this team that people have not gone ahead to understand. Ten Hag added on injuries and said we have to get the best out of it, the injury issues in the squad. We need to make the next step, integrating Rasmus Hojlund and Sergio Roglen into the team. Now, integrating them into the team is obviously great, because Ten Hag believes that he needs to play with a left back, and the other person that would have gone ahead to play in the left back position is Diogo Dalot, and he cannot play him there when we are having an injury of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, meaning that he has to integrate Sergio Roglen into the team to see to it that he gets going. Rasmus Hojlund has shown us that he's the number one center forward that Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to choose, and Anton Martial this time round is not going to complain, because he was given a chance last season and he never used it. But all I want to let him know is that the chance for him to play is always going to be there, because we are going to be playing 2 games a week. And I anticipate that tomorrow Rasmus Hojlund is going to lead the line of Man United, and Anton Martial might have a part to play, by the way, in the starting 11, because I have a thought in me that Anton Martial might be played as a left forward, and Marcus Rashford might be played as a right forward. That is it, because we need experience. In my predicted starting 11, I put there Facundo Pellistri, but I think this game is beyond his mentality. Starting in that game will show you that Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to really stamp in the career of that boy. But with the experience that we need, with Rasmus Hojlund leading the line, inexperienced, we need 2 players like Anton Martial off the left and Rashford off the right to really be there, with Bruno Fernandes being played in that position that he plays better. That is the central attacking midfield position. That's the position I really like to see Bruno Fernandes played in. Let's not try to really do what we call magic, but let's do what this team really requires and is calling in for to do. So for Erik ten Hag, I hope he goes in for that, but we are backing the manager and we think he's going to get everything right. Now, he was asked on the losses that we went ahead obviously and got 5 games, 3 losses and 2 wins, and they asked him, does the team need a reset? He said, we don't feel that we need a reset. We are in a process. In part of the games, we played very good, but also below our levels. What we have to demand is to be consistent, so we have to set up for 90 minutes plus. Obviously, that is exactly what we need from the players of Man United. They need to obviously offer and put their bodies on the line, for full 90 minutes. Because when you look at the game of Brighton, all the goals we conceded were in the same fashion. You know that. We conceded goals in the same fashion that is really uncalled for. And it really takes me back to the period where we couldn't get to where we deserve to be as a team of Manchester United, because we couldn't obviously keep clean sheets, we couldn't press better, and then we started to do that and press better. But this time round, the players need to know that the manager is really telling them to do the best. So we have to weather through the storm. No reset is needed. The players just need to get the orders right, and keeping clean sheets and getting back to where we are last season, not conceding very many goals. Can you imagine that we're going to have to play 5 games and we're going to have to concede 3 against Brighton, 3 against Arsenal, that is 6, 2 against Tottenham Hotspur, that is 8, 2 against Nottingham Forest, that is 10, and I think those are the goals. 10 goals conceded against our first 5 games. So that is really ridiculous, and you cannot accept it at the club of Manchester United. We need to do better at the club of Manchester United. I see Charlie Mazambuka, I'm coming in for you. And Danish, thank you for watching in through. I'm coming in for your questions. Sorry for your answers. And Fred Cheswa is also in the live chat. I'm coming in through to obviously tell you what my thoughts are about you and the team of Manchester United. Then Ten Hag went into the Bayern Munich story, and he was asked about his time at Bayern Munich. If you never knew that Ten Hag was at Bayern Munich, then you need to get to know it now. But he was not the main man. He was coaching the reserve team of Bayern Munich, and Pep Guardiola was his boss. Now he has said, I like the mentality from Bayern. We had great years. The first year especially, we were champions. The second season, we were unlucky that we are not promoted. It was a very good experience and enjoyable. That is what he said about Bayern Munich and his stay that side. So he came in through and obviously talked about on the threat that Bayern posed to Manchester United. He said, I think they have very attractive players who are very skillful. You cannot be unfocused for a split second. They have so much individual class. They also do sometimes leave you spaces. So Ten Hag knows what these players really do. The Musialas, Leroy Sen, right? Which other player that is really a threat? Serge Gnabry. You get? Those players are really a huge threat to the club of Manchester United, and we deserve better as a team of Manchester United. So I really call up for these players to obviously take on the mentor, not to really close your eye or blink for a second, because the moment you blink for a second, with the quality that these players are really having of Bayern Munich, they're obviously going to really annihilate you in a split of a second. That is it. And that's what Ten Hag is telling the players, that we need to be observant and we don't need to create anything that can really lead us into danger. To me, all I want to do is, I know tomorrow is going to be very hard for us not to lose, but let's lose with respect. I don't want to see an annihilation, Bayern running riot at us, like putting 4-5 goals past us. We need to use this game to build back our confidence, so that we keep it tight at the back and hit Bayern on the break, because we are going to play through transitions and hitting them on the break. We all know Bayern are going to be having the lion's share of the possession, and for United, we are going to use that style that Erik ten Hag played against Arsenal, that he controls that ball very well. With Andre Onana being one of the best passers of the ball, everything will be in good hands. So guys, smash the like button, comment and share. We are having 50 people watching it through and only 18 have gone ahead to smash the like button. Why are you doing that? Just continue to subscribe, because we are here to bring you the latest news and information as far as Manchester United is concerned. I'm having Okwera Danish, Man United forever. Thank you for watching it through. Then Charlie Mazabuka, Rashford needs to raise his head up to be able to provide for Rasmus Hojlund to score. You're right, because sometimes his head is looking on the ball, and yet he needs to be looking to where he's going to be playing, a skill that few players really possess. But if at all you really trust your skill set, you don't need to obviously know where even the ball is. The foot will obviously locate where the ball is, and your eyes will obviously try to really locate where pace players are. And we just need to obviously get ourselves to the best levels we deserve as a club of Manchester United, and not to obviously find ourselves losing out. Then Cheswa Fred, what of Malacia injury? When we are going into the last game we played against Arsenal, Erik ten Hag told us that Tyrell Malacia is close to return. And I think he's close to return, but Ten Hag, having gotten in Sergio Roglan, doesn't obviously want to hurry him back because he knows that it might affect his recovery. So he wants him to recover very well and obviously see him back. I think he's one of the big stories we are going to get very soon. You know, either this weekend or in the midweek when you're preparing for the game of Crystal Palace. That is it. Then Ronald Tumusime threw some lights on Mason Mount debut. Obviously, Mason Greenwood debut was really great. The third goal that they score is because of him getting his team a corner, and that corner was really brought in and it was headed straight to the back of the net, and he's really having a very wonderful time at Getafe. And you saw to it that he's not yet back to where he deserves to be because it's taken close to 2 years without kicking a ball, but he'll slowly get there, and you never know, he might win the hearts of many back at the club of Manchester United. Emmanuel Safar, why is Awan Hunt using Pelestri? You know, sometimes I really agree with Erik ten Hag. Do you know why? He is so much good at grooming young players. So none of us knows the mentality of Pelestri better than Erik ten Hag. So that's why Ten Hag brings him on as a substitute. So if he believes that his mentality is ready to start in the game of Bayern Munich, then he should bring him on. But if he doesn't believe that it's ready for him to be thrown into that game, then there won't be no reason for Erik ten Hag to do that. Let's trust and believe in our manager. We see these players, but he has the final verdict. And to me, I'm even having a thought that why don't we obviously play Rasmus Hojlund as a right winger and obviously get Anton Martial in the line, and then Rashford plays wide left. I have that plan too, such that we are having a very good bench of Garnacho, Facundo Pelestri to come in through and obviously act as a threat for the team of Bayern Munich. That can also act well, because I know Rasmus Hojlund can do that job very well. Because of his energy, he'll track back, because we need a winger who is obviously going to track back, as that line of Afonso Alves and Serge Gnabry is obviously going to be very active. So Dalot and whoever is going to be played with onto that line need to be active and awake for the full 90. Then I'm having Asimo Dennis. Rashford was so selfish in the second half, more than in the past days at Manchester United, because before we don't have the number 9, now we have. Obviously, he needs to understand that what he did was bad, and that's what Ten Hag is going to hate to let him know, that these two need to be obviously communicating together, to see to it that they read each other's runs and brains like a book. That is it. If you are to thrive at the club of Manchester United, we need to see to it that these things really open up as soon as possible. Emmanuel Safar, we have a good team. All the players needed is to change their mindset. The team is good. And if at all Ten Hag really gets his players back, as we've seen today, Amrabat, Kobe Menu, Rafael Varane, and Amrabat, Tom Heaton is back. That shows you that we are really getting to where we deserve to be as a team of Manchester United. If these players really come back and Ten Hag has a variety to obviously choose on, trust me, we can beat any team in the league. And if at all we lose, then Ten Hag and the players will be to blame. But right now, he doesn't have a fully fit team. That's the problem. Then Emmanuel Safar, we have a good team. All the players, all right. Thank you very much for watching through. Ronald Tumusime is telling me 1-1 draw between Manchester United and Bayern Munich. I think that's the result I believe we can fight for a draw, because this team is not going to hate to lose at this side for a very, very long time, and will be in the records or in the good books of history if at all we happen to obviously cost them a point, or 2 points, or 3, at the Arians Arena. I'm having Height Studios. He's telling me true. Obviously, thank you for watching it through. And I think we've gone ahead to have a very good live altogether. I hope you guys have gone ahead to enjoy this live. Thank you for watching in. John Evans, Henry J. Uganda, Okwera Denish, Charlie Mazambuka, Cheswa Fred, Ronald Tusime, Emmanuel Safa, Asimwe Dennis, Emmanuel Safa, Ronald Tumusime, and the Height Studios. I think we've gone ahead to have a very good vibe today, and I've gone ahead to bring exactly what Ten Hag said into the press conference. I'm trying to compile what Onana really had to say, and I believe we'll get something better and positive out of him that we're going to present to you in the last recording I'm going to make until this. So in the next 1 or 2 hours, I'm going to obviously make a recording and upload it here onto this channel. So guys, allow me call it quits for now, not so. And we're going to discuss more about United tomorrow. And every day I really want to come here live, and I want to set a standard time for us to be streaming live. So guys, I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living true God bless you abundantly. The Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barakallahu fikum. Those going to bed, good night.